go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cosplay Tea Time, a fun community of cosplayers bringing you podcast recordings where we'll talk about different fandoms, animes, the art of cosplaying, conventions, and sometimes we take a little break to talk about holidays. So we're bringing back our Halloween podcasts as tradition, but we're mixing it up a little bit, giving a few tricks and treats here and there. So be sure to stick around, have some tea, have some snacks, definitely have some candy nearby, because we're going to get into the topic of cosplay horror stories and interesting moments is today's topic. So before we get into all of that, I want to introduce our lovely guest and tea sippers here with me, starting with...
Hi, I'm Lemon Whiskey. I just go by Lemon. My pronouns are she, they, and the current cosplay is a female presenting Crow Bronwyn, the vampire style, obviously. So I'm more dead than normal. It's time to get spooky.
So I'm Springy. Shocking, I know. I go by he, him. You can find me on Demon Interviews primarily. That's where where I've been posting new things. I'm currently being Ghostface. Which one? Up to you. And yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me for tea today. My name is Jen. I go by she, her pronouns. I'm the founder of Cosplay Tea Time as well as today's host. I can be found YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at JenPeriodCosplays45, and I'm doing Shoko Komi from Komi Can't Communicate, but she's dressed as Little Red Riding Hood. So that is that. And with that, we are done with introductions. So we're going to do two icebreaker questions, just fun little ways to kind of warm up the room in a sense. We're going to start with the first one being, if you could spend a day with the character, it could be from anime, show, movie, video game, sky's the limit, so one character. If you could spend the day with them, who would it be and what would you do?
It's a question. And every single memory of any fiction I have ever watched goes out the window in time.
Oh, no.
There it went. It's okay. My answer would probably, hilariously, and tragically, I guess, be one of the supernatural characters. Gabriel, the Archangel, because I think he is and I would love to just talk to him and see what's happening. I mean, that would be very fun.
Well, I would calmly just take Jean from volumes 1 to 3, anywhere from there. I don't care where. Just careful, not the ending. So I'm just gonna grab him carefully, sit him down, give him a nice hot cup of tea, then slap it out of his hand, shake him, and say, "She likes you. Why don't you see it?" And then I would give him another cup and slap that out of his hand too. Just be crazy. And then he would just be very confused why this man in a mask is assaulting him and trying to give him a beverage and also slapping it out of his hand. Be very confused. But it would get the point across. Okay, I'm done.
So you just gotta be dressed as his most current alternate form, like most recent season version of John.
Yeah.
That specific one, that's the spoiler version. Just dress up like him. You just
Why do I see this becoming a Ruby Chibi episode of like Rested by Sean meeting Sean at Beacon and stuff, and he's like, "That's me." Like.
yours was gonna be John. I tried so hard not just saying Crow.
I know.
I always say Jean. I always say Jean. I always say the same
Jean
reason.
is baby.
Yeah.
Jean is baby.
He is baby. I give him a little blanket and wrap him up and then let him watch Pumpkin Pete reruns. He's fine. He's fine in my hands, not in Springy's.
My
Alright.
nephew, or
Maybe. Okay, let's see. One character only. I would probably do a Komi-san. I try to like take her out to like not like super duper crowded areas, but I try to get her to like become a little bit less social anxious and stuff, and like just try to let her order everything and just like hang out and try to talk and maybe make it on the friends list. That'd be nice. So that would be my answer. Let's see. So number 2 we have is, can I remember? Oh, what did you bring for tea today? What kind of snacks, beverages, even little plushies, fun stuff? What you got?
well, I lost the bird I was gonna bring with somewhere in the abyss. I was going to bring a crow, not Crow Bronwyn, but an actual crow. It was adorable. Other than that, the only thing I have is this totally not sponsored water bottle. It has a filter in it. Delicious. That's all. And a honey stick.
Honey's good.
From the Bristol Renaissance Fair.
A knife! No!
No!
No, I actually left it over there because it's one of those fake blood
Mhm.
ones, so I'm leaving it over there.
Can't get censored by YouTube.
YouTube
We've been so
can't
good.
stop me. But really, I brought
contraire.
the nondescript caffeinated cola beverage with 0 sugar. As always, I do drink water. I drink it at work. I also have a bag of dice that also has birds on it.
For just one subscribe button a day, you two can help Springy his ability to be water.
Exactly. One
Hydrate.
like or
The word is hydrate.
one subscriber means Spring has to drink like 1 cup of water. I'm gonna start messaging you. We gotta do one.
Obviously one of these. So anyway, one of these days, it's going to be Springy alone on the YouTube channel, just drinking cup after cup water.
Gotta be careful not to drink too much, because I think you can get poisoned from it and stuff. So at least that's what I read.
It's like clips from different days of him drinking a cup.
Oh, okay.
Just
Gotcha.
slowly, just bigger amounts.
Furiously drinking.
Then at the end, it's just like a gallon, and it's just like, ah! And then I die. I'm not gonna fall out of my chair again. My arm already hurts.
Please don't fall out of your chair again.
I
think that just got posted in the royalty. No. I think it got posted in the royalty podcast recording just for you, just out of his chair. I was like, okay, that's a thing. Still need to make it into a short.
5 minutes
you could
after
just
I
call
said
it a little bit of bad luck.
Aha! Wonderful. Alrighty, so we're gonna wrap up icebreakers. I forgot my own question. Oh, okay. So what did I bring? I brought some sugar cookies. That's all I've been smelling for the past hour. Some sugar cookies, orange spice tea. It's very, very lovely. And then some felt food. So I was trying to look for like food items to stick in my little basket. So I made some tea time, like sandwiches, scones, desserts, and everything, like little mousy cookie biscuits. So one day if we ever go to like a panel or have like a table at convention, we can like kind of set these up and everything. So it's my little goodies basket to take to grandma's house. Alrighty, and with that, we're going to wrap up our icebreakers, and we're going to do a quick little commercial break, which is, if this is your first time joining Cosplay Tea Time, watching us, hearing us, welcome. Thank you for taking a moment out of your day to listen. We're just a cosplayers where we'll sit, we'll record podcasts, and then edit them, upload them, and then get them out there for you all to enjoy. So if you're a cosplayer, you want to join, do message us on our Instagram. We have link trees below. Make sure to follow and support the lovely guest and tea sippers on the channel. And just want to say thank you to those that have followed, support us, left kind comments. We really do appreciate it. So many, many more recordings to come. Okay, and with that, we're going to jump right into our podcast recording topic for today, which of course is about Halloween. It's a holiday celebrated towards the end of October, October 31st, where folks will dress up, go trick-or-treating, have parties. I'm sure there's lots and lots of history out there. So we're going to do questions, and I had to pull it up on my phone because this very first question I came up all by myself, and I'm so proud of it. So I might ask this later on in the server too for folks that couldn't join, because this is really, really cute and fun. All right. Well, so your very first Halloween cosplay that you ever did when you were teeny tiny or younger, like your very first Halloween cosplay, combine that with Halloween costume, and then combine that with the first cosplay that you ever did. So first Halloween costume and your first cosplay, combine the two, and what do you get?
That would be Crow Bronwyn as a Power Ranger, and I think that would be amazing.
That is not amazing.
I want it. You mean a Crowzord? I would like a Crowzord. Thank you very much.
Is it?
This would be great.
Okay.
I'm assuming this means, like, the first costume I was sentient to choose myself, which was obviously the Pink Ranger, because the Pink Ranger is best, and we all love Kimberly. And the first, like, cosplay that, like, I made is this shirt, is Crow. I sewed this, I dyed it. So, the Gray Ranger, I guess. Sweet. What about you, Sweetie?
With the power of a crow. Crow Ranger. Sorry. This turns into a bird in like a little spandex suit. Okay. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
The earliest one I can think of, because the earliest one I got told about is very different. But the earliest one I can actually remember being in is also a Power Ranger.
Which color? Very important.
I believe the first one I remember being was the SPD
your
Red
personality
Ranger.
Test. So that makes sense.
And then mixing that with the marionette from Five Nights at Freddy's.
Objectively horrifying, but also cool.
But the oldest one I got told about was I was Blue from Blue's Clues. So mixing that with the marionette is just its own psychological horror you can have on yourself.
Someone's gonna turn that into a multi-million-dollar horror film. Thank you, Springy.
It was our idea. It was Springy's idea.
It's my idea, but they're gonna steal it because I have no
Here
money.
first, folks. Money, but you'll have YouTube proof.
True.
Blue's Clues was my childhood, so. Let me see. So my very first Halloween cosplay was a black cat. Had like little kitty cat ears, black sweater, whiskers and stuff. Tiny Jen going around and meowing and asking for treats. And then my first cosplay was Nora Valkyrie. So it's essentially Nora kind of as Blake, because Blake has black cat ears, so she's a faunus and stuff. So, but I totally see Nora just going around and annoying everybody, just meowing and stuff for treats.
Calico Nora.
Yeah, pretty much. She would do that.
I love the Venn diagram that is Ruby character and animal and Power Ranger.
Oh, I'm Ruby. Oh,
powerful
God,
hero figure and animal.
pretty much. I like it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna post that in Cosplay Tea Time later on, or even
Delightful.
something, just to see what other people have to say. Because now I'm like curious. It's kind of a neat little
Such a
question.
cute question. I
I
love it.
know. I just came up with it one day. I'm like, oh, that'd be so cute to ask. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited. We actually have another exciting question, which is, what is your scariest cosplay that you have?
Hmm.
My customer service uniform count.
Oh, oh no.
Fair.
Oh,
Um, I don't actually have horror cosplays.
no.
Um, I mean, I guess this one did actually scare off an Uber Lyft driver at one point.
Oh boy. Aw.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why. I have no clue why. But so I suppose it's still Crow as the answer. But never had a spooky cosplay.
Hmm.
I did have a fallen angel costume in middle school that won me place scariest. So there's that.
Hmm.
What about you, Springy?
Very subjective, but I have a kind of two answers. For kind of an OCAU type of idea, Grim Jean. It's the only one I really have for that. I'm still working on some fine tuned pieces, but like there's oh god, I'm sitting on my cape, and I hate that. I have this, and this is covering out one of my eyes. Just I was say blackening it out, but it's red, so it's redding it out. If it's torn. Um, I'm gonna be Freddy Krueger for a local haunted house. You don't know where that is. Um, which is good because so I'm going to believe that is one of the scariest because it has like it goes all over my head and down my chest. I have a metal glove and I have a sweater and yeah, and a hat that fits my head. You have no idea how hard it is to get a hat from my massive head. From my head, I don't know about anybody else's head, but still. Um,
Someday Torchwick will happen.
so someday torture will happen because I will find a big enough and cheap enough hat. Um,
He will just make you it.
How you do that?
I wonder what happens if you just search up oversized top hat. Maybe go from there.
Doug Dimmadome, owner of Denzel Dimmadome, just like the hat being like up to there.
Lemon
At least,
Torchwick, Doug Dimmadome crossover.
I'll say, at least we'll find you in the convention. If we ever all go. Just see. Be like, oh, there's Springy. Oh,
That's funny.
goodness. Let's see. Scariest cosplay I have. I would say Grimpira. Like, I don't know. I feel pretty scary as her. I feel kind of confident and stuff like that. But I like getting into Grimpira. It's not my easiest cosplay to get into, but I did post like a photo of her like a couple weeks ago, like kind of like the upgraded and stuff. And people in the comments were like, "Whoa, like that's kind of spooky," because I was like doing like a really weird expression, not weird, but just kind of like trying to be like
Mhm.
Spooky
evil.
scary.
I was just trying to be a little bit spooky. Normally, I post like magical, fairy stuff like that, and then I'm like all of a sudden like, here, have Grimpira. People are like, what is this? So yeah, I feel like Grimpira would be top of top of the list. Alrighty. Next up, we have. Oops. What is the most annoying thing about getting into cosplay/cosplaying?
Wigs.
Yeah.
Hands down. Nothing, unless you have serious additive things that's like full body face, like paint or like fake extremities like wings or stuff that you have to attach to yourself. It's just wigs. Because like you need the cap. Like some people need and that keeps it on. They can fall off. Hilariously, my first time at a convention in Crow, I tripped, fell over, my wig proceeded to eat itself, somehow, even though I had every measure in place to keep it there.
Mm.
It's fine. I survived. And I was okay to laugh at that. It's just wigs. You don't know if the one you're ordering to your head or not. Sometimes you get a wig and you're like, this is a dog wig. What? It's for a chihuahua.
Oh.
Luckily, I've not had to get through that yet. But, it's always possible.
Hmm?
Yeah. What about you, Springy?
Well, since I'm more mask based, vision and try not to sweat to death. Because this
Layers.
layers, like
Layers.
layers in general,
Layers.
but layers on the face are very hard, and mainly when you have to have glasses to see 2 feet in front of your face. Either you have to have them on the outside, which looks stupid or silly at the same time, depending on who you are and who you're
Now
dressing as.
seeing the frames of your glasses
Yeah,
Oh.
see.
and your mask.
Yeah, I knew that.
Buddy.
That's fine. But like sometimes they're on the
I'm so
outside.
Mhm.
No, you're fine. Or
Just
do
tape
they
them on.
just tape them on? Or the mask is so tight it's pressing on the glasses and going to leave like a red mark of your glasses on your face. And that's not good for your glasses. For some reason I feel like a wizard, and I'm like, ha, because normally it's like super pointy as well, like it has a point and everything. Anywho, but yeah, the masks, mainly these ones, like this one and like all my marionette and other masks up there, they have no ventilation in them. So I can promise you this: there is just a pool of sweat right here. Not up to here. That would be bad. That would be me dying.
No.
But like a small one, but living right here. Anywho, moving on from
You
that
gotta just
gross topic.
gotta figure out a way to use the furry ice pack tips on you.
Mm-hmm.
You're just there's a fine layer of ice underneath the costume for you, especially when you're in armor.
Good, yeah.
So that's a topic later down the road that we're going to be covering is cosplay arm and armor. That's going to be a fun topic. So, alright, most annoying things for me getting into cosplay. Definitely wigs, like getting wigs stuck in your eye and stuff, like having to rearrange it and all that. I think too, like whenever I finally like after I cosplay and I'll post photos or videos and stuff, people will leave comments like, "Oh, you look like this character," when I'm not cosplaying that character. It's like, I'll be dressed as one character and I'll use a bunch of hashtags. Like I'll put in the caption like I'm cosplaying this character, this representation of said character, and then they're in the comments like, "Oh, like it's a different character, maybe from the same series or something," but that does get a little bit annoying because, no, it's like I kind of see where you're going, maybe, if they kind of make sense, and then other times I'm just like, no, not quite. So make sure if you're not sure or anything like that. I feel like it's okay to ask. If people are like, oh, like who you cosplaying as, or which character is this? Then it's like, well, let me tell you my latest hyperfixation. Like, let me tell you all about this character. Thanks for asking. What's the word count limit? So yeah, it's stuff like that. So that's the only thing I can really think of. Just I guess motivation to get into cosplay. Face paint is always full body paint. Like yesterday I did a cute little pink star and some white diamonds. Like that's okay. But getting into full body paint for a character takes a lot of time, takes a lot of motivation. Boy howdy when it starts cracking, you just want to start crying because it's like, I'm not done. So
You gotta just get those full body color suits while the Halloween season is going.
Mm-hmm.
get that. going. Alrighty, so talked a little bit about the scary and the annoying, but now we're gonna change it up a little bit and say, what is your funniest cosplay that you have?
I don't think I have anything particularly like funny. I guess silly. I have an almost pajama version of Merida from Brave.
Oh,
That I did a while back, in 2019. It's fun.
that's
Very
so
cute.
cute.
I used my normal hair for it because it's like close enough.
Hmm. Hmm. Probably my silliest or funniest or that category of cosplay would either be Pennywise, because I don't have like a actual mask or something like I have for Freddy. Freddy's in a dark corner over here on a head, wearing Loki horns. Like he's over here in the corner. Nobody's seeing that. But and like this has like full head
I
and everything,
remember that
counting two
variant.
hoods. But the Pennywise one is just like one of those from like a very cheap Halloween costumes where it's just like a hard plastic thing right here. Hair. So that one's like, and also clown in general. Is probably the silliest or funniest. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Other than me just twirling this like it's my hair.
I know,
Um,
just oh. You're okay. Let me see. Funniest cosplay. I'm gonna say Daisy May from Animal Crossing New Horizons. Thought it was a great idea, but it's like every single time I get into it, it's like everything that could go wrong goes wrong. The kerchief doesn't want to wrap around my neck. The basket keeps sliding on and off my head. That's probably another thing that's annoying is trying to balance things on your head and they don't really fit or work. So it's like, all right, like what else can I do? I used to do like the she walks around the town and she has like a little boop over like on her nose. I know it probably doesn't sound very nice, but it's so cute though when she like sneeze and stuff. But I had that and I would tape it to it and it was just like, nope, this isn't gonna work. So I bought a mask on Etsy and stuff like that. So it's pretty fun to be it, but then I look back at videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what am I doing? So I am proud of the
That
apron. So
reminds me.
yeah.
Good. Reminds me that I have a Sable cosplay that I totally forgot about from Animal Crossing.
So we need to do another Animal Crossing recording. We did one a while ago, but it was just me, so I just basically sat and talked about my island. But my island has updated, so we'll continue that conversation at a later
I do
time.
not have Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm just
Oh,
a person who used to play it very much, and I love Sable very dearly
he was the
because she's
best.
just me.
Mm-hmm. He's the best. Alrighty. Speaking about characters, actually, this tied in very, very nicely because our next question is, what are some of your favorite scary characters? So you can list up to like two or three. So,
Scary. Mrs. Lovett, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber's Fleet Street, is definitely one of those. Love her. She's a great character design. Hmm. Let's see. Oh goodness. See, the interesting thing is I don't consume a lot of horror media, but so much like it's scraping the databanks. Oh, this is gonna at me a little bit. Larden Crepsley from um um book series by Darren Shan. Um, he is a vampire, and he is tall and lanky,
oh,
and I have a certain character type, and I'm not afraid to say it.
oh,
Woo! Great series. I read that one in middle school. It's very fun. Um, I'm gonna skim over Sweeney Todd himself because seems like a cheap shot. Yeah, hair, bad, unaliver. Oops, uh, halfway there already. Um, I'm trying to remember name. I recently watched or listened to the podcast The Edge of Sleep that stars Markiplier um, as the main character, and I just, for some reason, life for me, I can't remember the main character's name. It is such a plain Joe name. Um, yeah, not even coming up to me. But that was a great show to watch, and it was a very interesting character. He has deep-seated sleep issues, and wherein he cannot consume any violent media because it will regurgitate itself frightening way in his dreams. So he's stuck on the edges of REM sleep throughout his life, and it ties really good into the
That sounds cool.
maybe someday I'll remember the name of that character.
Today is not that day.
Whoops. Yeah, nope.
I can stop yawning. I'm so tired. I'm sorry. I've had horrible sleep for the past 2 days. So my first one was Springtrap, of course. Shocking, mind blowing, amazing. Mainly him because he, as of this moment, might change. I don't know with FNAF. But he's the only one that is both animatronic and what's left of a human, we'll say. And then there is Freddy Krueger. I always really enjoy him because he's always comedic. Not about good things, mind you, but I always enjoy those jokey, characters like that, and just being like a dream demon in general is also very fun. And for the last one, I'm gonna go with Ghostface. This one because you never know who's behind that mask. You never know. It could be your dad, it could be your mom, it can be your 18th removed cousin, it can be your current love interest. It can be whoever you want Ghostface to be. He can be him. Because in the third movie, a character who had 2 lines was Ghostface. So anyone can be Ghostface. And I always think that's really interesting. And even though they're all very different, they still have the same traits of, wiping off the mess from their weaponry. Trying to keep this PG as close as I can, or PG-13. And they are so clumsy. They are so clumsy at all times of the day. What is it? It's 12 of them now. There's 12 different people who've been Ghostface, something like that. My friend Mina would know, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, those are my top 3 as of this moment. It'll change tomorrow.
How it always works. Let's see.
I remember the character's name now.
Oh, okay. What is it?
Yeah, his name is Dave Torres. That's the character that Markiplier plays.
There you go. Dave
Simple
Torres.
name, Dave.
Dave. Love it.
Dave.
Let's see. So I can only think of 2 characters that I do enjoy. One of them might come a little bit weird. I might have to explain myself. But the first one being Jack Skellington. Even though he's kind of adorable, he's not super duper scary. He's so cute and everything. So, but yeah,
If the movie can scar you as a child, I would consider it horror.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it did. I think I just mostly like the music and the singing. So, still do to this day, of course. And the second one is going to be, spoiler alert for Ruby Volume 9, when the Curious Cat kind of evolved like a Pokemon into its new form, that whole scene. like completely freaked me out. Like that whole transformation, I was just like, what is going on here? That kind of scared me. Not gonna
Kind of
lie.
insanity, yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So there you go. Well, the one cat that scares me because I like cats. I love cats, and that one I was just like,
That's not the scariest thing I think of when I think of that cat, but I'm not gonna say what it is.
mm.
There's the other scene, but we're gonna keep moving.
So what happened?
Yeah, I know
Okay.
that scene that you're talking about, yeah.
Scary. Anyway, let's talk a little bit, I guess, cheerful stuff, which is what is your favorite candy or treats to eat during Halloween?
I'm a sweet fiend. I'm gonna first answer this in character because I actually know that off the top of my head because, um, so as we all know, Crow is recently reformed in terms of turkey from alcohol. So a lot of times when I'm writing him, I will use the fact that he copes using honey as a sweet treat, kind of curb cravings. Um, so I'm trying to say honeycomb for him or something close to that. Um, out of character, so the fact that I also like honey, love salted caramel. It is my favorite thing in the world. Um, I think that would probably like that and sour candy, my favorites.
Mhm. My favorites are gummies of any kind. Hand me a gummy, and I'll. Well, I can't do it right now. There's like nothing will fit right here, other than like maybe like a straw. Um, Anything gummy or anything sour, mainly when they're combined. Oh,
Someone like
favorite thing.
shakes a bag of near you and you just rip off the mask. You're like, give me that thing. New commercial idea.
How to reveal ghost face. Ding-a-ling-ding.
You ate all my sour candy, Sydney.
The Sour Patch Kids.
On Elm Street.
Sour Patch Children of the Corn.
You know, it's Wolverine.
In fact, I grew up where Nightmare on Elm Street was filmed. The high school
Cool.
was.
And go do some sightseeing.
Not much to see, I promise.
That. My favorite candy to eat around this time of year would be Reese Cups. I mean, I enjoy Reese Cups all the time, but there's just something about chocolate and peanut butter in the fall. It's absolutely perfect, as well as Kit Kats are a nice little treat to eat. So I am definitely chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. So, alrighty. Next up, we have a bit of an interesting question, which is, have you ever cosplayed in the wild? You know, sometimes we cosplay at home, cosplay conventions, seems pretty normal, but have you ever been out somewhere to like take photos or hang out, cosplay in the wild?
First thing I could think of, I wasn't doing it on purpose. This is again Merida. Like I mentioned before, my hair looks very similar to hers. I was in a dress that was very similar and got clocked, absolutely clocked, like, verbally by a child who's just like, "Are you You're Merida, Mom? She's Merida," and I'm just like, saying, "I'm like, I can't break this child's immersion." I was like, "No, no, this is in a Jewel Osco," and I'm just there like, "Of course I am, Les. How dare you? My mom's looking for me. Can't let her know I'm here, okay?" She's like, "Okay." Very, very precious. Very precious. Another point, Play in the Wild was en route to a convention because I was taking the train there. And you know, you get the from people who are just trying to get the heck to work. You're just like, what the hell is that? I was in my Christmas break, and later, after posting photos online, a message from one of my friends who doesn't know me super well. I know them from the Renaissance Fair. Just like, oh my god, I think I saw you on the train. And I was like, you live here? And he was like, I do. Or they were like, I do.
Aww.
Very funny. I don't really cosplay in the wild much. Usually I'm at home at convention.
The only time I purposely cosplay house, actually, technically there's a few, but I'm gonna go with the story because this is a great story. So, context. The name on one of my emails is just Springtrap. That's just the name that it's under because I already have one that's my name and everything. Um, and my mom had to order food from my phone, and she used that email address, and they instantly put in whatever the name is on the email address. So me and my mom go, and she's like, "Oh, it should be under my mom's name here," and they're like, "No, we have nothing under that," and they're like, "Okay," and then she's like, "Maybe it's under my name," and then I look at my phone, I'm like, "Is it under Springtrap?" And they're like, "Yeah," and like the waiter was like, "Oh, I know who you guys are now," and I'm like,
Oh no.
"What?" So this is where the actual story comes in. The next time, because not every single time we order from them, we do it as Springtrap. Because it's great. So the next time we did it, I went full like in my purple guy cosplay that I got for the purple recording, I do believe. Hey, but and I went in full like nobody knew who the HE double hockey sticks I was or why I'm doing. I even recorded myself doing this.
It's in the server. He
It
posted
is.
in the server.
And I went in. I'm like, okay, what's your order name? I'm like Springtrap, saying it in the most confident way I can, wearing like the most ridiculous outfit, wearing a vest over some silk purple. It was super busy that day too, so my mom had to park in the back. So I had to walk to the other end outside of the restaurant, and we're having the town was having like some bike-a-thon thing or whatever. It was like from the bottom end of California all the way up to like Washington or something like that. And I know for a fact, like there, people looked at me. I was like, why is he wearing? Why is he wearing that? Just the most like crazy thing ever, and I was so happy. Nobody knew, but I was happy. My mom was petrified and was like, "Why are you going in there wearing that?" I'm like, "Cause it's funny." But it was also very warm because it was August in California.
Like that one audio that's like, she is very beautiful to me.
Me, I felt happy about it.
Oh.
Nobody else did.
And that's the important thing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly. So many heartwarming and funny stories for sure. Let me see. For me, I did share one story in the OC recording. We'll have that link down below. I shared that fun little tale about Bee from Bee and Puppy Cat. And then I didn't think about this until recently when somebody asked me to ask this question. But Coco Adele, I brought her during a California vacation trip because I had just finished reading After the Fall, and that's when they're in vacuum and everything like that. And we were going to the southern part of California, and there's like this big desert, like huge desert. We've been there before. There's photos on my Instagram, but yes, Coco Adele went to a little lunch spot, and I got like a burger because that's what she gets in the book. She orders a burger, so I got that. I'm dressed in a turtleneck. It's like, when was this? End of October, so it's not too hot at that point. But we're going to the desert, which is even hotter than it is, closer to the seaside shore. So I am in this yellow long sleeve. I got my black hat. My hair's kind of all done and everything. I'm wearing like the big oversized sunglasses, just walking around. There's people staring. It's like, how's it going? Like, I'm starting to feel nervous. I did bring up backup clothes just in case I did chicken out. And I was thinking about it too until we stopped at a little rest area before going out to the desert. I stopped there and there was like these like really big, beautiful trees. And I was like, oh, I might take some photos here. So I was taking photos and stuff. And then, my my in-laws come over, they're like, oh, let's take your photos. So, I do like the pose, like the Coco pose with the sunglasses like this. And they're like, yes, yes, do that again, do that over here. Like, da-da-da. They're so excited. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love these guys
That's
so
so cute.
much. So that gave me enough confidence to keep wearing the cosplay. And I have pictures. There's like these iron statues of like animals. There's like an elephant, which kind of reminded me of like the elephant grim and stuff. So I was like taking photos by it, like, huh. They have like a dragon statue. So I got a lot of fun photos. But then afterwards, when we stopped at a restaurant again and stuff, I changed out of it because I'm like, all right, that's enough for today. So yeah, my one and only time. Oh gosh. Let's see. A couple more questions, but this one actually being a would you rather. So came up with a bunch of would you rather questions for a different server game night. And one of them I thought I would ask here because I'm kind of curious to know, would you rather be bitten by a vampire or be turned into a werewolf?
I feel like I have a certain bias on this question, and I just can't put my finger on why. Huh. Boyfriend's a werewolf, and luckily he's not in the room to hear this conversation.
Oh no.
That's very funny because it's the vampire werewolf combination.
Mm.
I would preference for vampire stuff because my life's already focused around it. I'm also Italian, so I'm already kind of a werewolf anyway. We'll just go for vampire for the sake of a firm answer.
I would go werewolf because I'm already kind of a vampire with my pale skin and I burn very easily in the sun. And I don't sleep. Without Pokemon Sleep, we're not sponsored, but that's the thing that's actually been helping my sleep schedule. Plus, if I was a vampire, I couldn't go to my jobs.
Mm-hmm.
If I was a werewolf, I could maybe like scare a child into going to the bench. Look, you gotta get the win when you can. They're evil. Half of them are evil. 90% of them are evil. But yeah,
Gotta get them past the murderous phase, and then it's fine.
Well,
Any good child.
I only work with them from kindergarten to 5th grade. I can't work that out of them in time. I don't work. I'm
job.
Exactly. And then my other job is tutoring.
Is the punching bag.
Pretty much. I mean, I have actually been punched, kicked, things thrown at me, and crazy. But my other job, I work with adults, so that's much better. I tutor statistics over at the local college. Yeah, it's a very different demographic, and never shall the two ever meet.
No.
Other than in 10 years. And then I'm going to feel so old when, like, one of the first 5th graders comes in and it's like, oh my god, Mr. Springy, you're here. I'm like, oh god, you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be in kindergarten. What the hell are you doing here? I really need help with this statistics class. No, you don't. It's like adding plus and minuses. All you're doing. You're like 2. Like, why are you here? Why are you an adult? Ugh. That goes into
Real horror is the concept of growing old.
Oh god.
And time passing.
I actually just got insoles for my shoes because my feet are hurting too badly. Like I have extra thick padded shoes, and then I also need an insert so my arches get support. And recently I've been also wearing an ankle brace with that as well.
Oh my gosh.
From my injury that happened back in August. We're filming this in like early October. And I just got the ankle brace. But yeah.
That is one topic hopefully in the near future we get to talk about is like cosplay shoes. No, not Springy's Pain. That's every podcast recording. You're kidding.
Yeah.
Sorry. But
I
yeah,
don't remember
cosplay tea.
offhandedly if you've done it yet or not, but like disability in cosplay.
I think we've done that. We just did. Well, we did invisible.
I think so.
English. Invisible disabilities, and then we have disabilities in the cosplay community. I think that's it. Besides the mental health ones, so we gotta keep a few. We can definitely do more. So I'm always willing to talk about it. So let's
Always
see.
good.
Finish up here. So I would rather be a werewolf. Vampires, I think of cold, dead. You can only come out at night, but like werewolves, it's like you get a nice warm fur coat. You get to go and look at the how at the full moon and stuff. So I'd turn into a werewolf. I don't think I'd try to find like ways to make myself smell good because I feel like having all that fur might smell like wet dog and stuff. So yeah, gotta get some werewolf deodorant.
Worth it.
It's true. Okay, we actually have one more question for today, which is actually from Springy a couple years back, aka the famous jump scare, which is what is your favorite scary slash horror movie?
Oh, scary slash horror. Oh dear. Uh, Full disclosure, I don't watch a lot of scary movies.
It's okay.
I read scary stuff, but I suppose Sweeney Todd will probably be like the scary kind of movie. I was obsessed with it when I was and I still love it. I still think it's a great movie and an even better musical to see in person.
Well, Jen, I have to. I'm wearing it. So what's your favorite scary movie? Anyhow, I cannot do that voice at all. Anywho, my favorite scary movie is Cabin in the Woods, the Joss Whedon horror movie. I enjoy it. Don't enjoy the person, but I enjoy the movie. It's just really I enjoy it. It gives a lot of explanation to some of the tropes of horror movies and stuff, which I enjoy. Seeing an explanation for why there is a final girl and sometimes there isn't, and why XYZ goes first and so on and so forth. It's interesting in my opinion. But yeah, that's my favorite scary movie. My favorite horror game is FNAF. That wasn't the question, but I just wanted to say it anyway.
I mean, the movie's coming out, so
Horror
And but
games are a whole different entirely. We'd be here for a while. Maybe horror video games is different.
yes, needs to be a thing.
don't you mean it's different? It's different cup of tea. Anyhow,
Let me see. So I think the most recent one, like scary-ish movie, would be Annabelle Coming Home or something. Whenever the Annabelle doll like takes over the house and everything, it was a little bit scary and stuff. But I feel like I don't know. The only scary movie that like scared the bejeebies out of me was It. I have yet to see It too because the first one scared me really bad. It's not my favorite, but I don't know. I kind of watch scary movies. And I like the cornball cheesy ones where it's like, there's a cabin in the middle of the woods, and then they all go to it, and then it's like scary things happen, and they're trying to figure out why, and it's like, man, there's some good ones though.
I want to watch Hide and Seek. That looks like a very good kind of horror thriller movie.
it is.
I'll have to add it to the watch list, which you're supposed to do.
It is a good movie.
Yeah. I do like thrillers that have a taste of horror in them. A tasteful horror. Like stuff like Sucker Punch and stuff like that. A bit more into that version of horror rather than jump scare horror.
Yeah.
Just my personal thing.
Saw.
I suppose, yeah. At least saw one.
Very different film. Sorry, go ahead.
I think we're wrapping up.
Period to sentence.
Yep, you're good. Alrighty, so that's gonna conclude the episode Halloween 2023 with Cosplay Tea Time. But before we wrap up, I always like to turn over to the guest and tea sippers, see if they have questions for folks in the tea room, as we like to call it here, or for viewers out there. So, Lemon, any questions?
Sure. What was the first spooky media that you've consumed?
Oh gosh.
I assume we're going in the same order, so it's skip
Yeah.
and go to me.
I'm.
It was, I think it's called the Butterfly Effect. I think that's what it was called. I could scream and ask, but didn't even mean for that. But my microphone probably make it very loud, so I'm not going to do that. But I think it's something like that.
I'm trying to think. I didn't really do scary horror things because I was like very scared of the dark. Oh, this is a lot, but yeah, I was like pretty terrified of the dark, so I always try to stay away from that. But I would say probably whenever like I met my husband and stuff, like he's into horror games and scary movies, and I'm just like, can we watch romance? He's like, no, it's fine. He's like, this has romance in it and stuff. So it really wasn't until like meeting him, and I just kind of like I'll watch like a scary movie here or there and everything like that. Like he's the one that taught me how to play FNAF. I think Security Breach and stuff. So I think it was really through him that I started like tolerating the spooky, scary stuff. But if anything, Nightmare Before Christmas was definitely an intro to spookiness. So, how about you, Lemon?
It is one of two, I think. It is either Coraline.
Oh, yes.
Which is unfortunate. Or alternatively, accidentally getting forced to watch at least the beginning of what I think was Scream 3 as a toddler, and I was like, nope, nope, Mom, I'm leaving. I'm not staying here. I'm going to bed. Bye. Except, much less calm. A lot more scream crying. But Coraline was probably the one that was like, sure, I'll watch this, I say, in my basement.
It's like the worst place to watch it too. I watched it once and I'm like, never again. That was a little bit too much.
I was fascinated with the plot. Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It's
It's just like
super intense. Super.
Well, let's see. Did you have other questions, Lemon? That was a good one.
Maybe what is the scariest occurrence that has happened to you on accident while wearing a cosplay or costume? That's not falling out of your chair and almost dying.
That was on purpose.
Sure it was.
You can see in the video it was on purpose. Exactly. Fun fact: most slashers are actually in the costume are played by stunt actors, stunt performers.
Makes sense.
With all the chairs that gets thrown at them. Whenever I'm wearing a mask like this, I can't see this way at all. Like literally, I see this way, and in shapes of two beans, and that's it. So I can see like my computer, and that's it, and the whole laptop, and that's pretty much it. Anything coming from here. So whenever I'm recording a video in a mask like this, and then my mom just comes in without announcing, because I do my videos, not do interviews in the laundry room. So when she's just coming in, I get so scared. And most of the time it's in a cosplay like this where I'm like the slasher, evil, whatever. And it's like, ah! Just like her coming in randomly, it always freaks me out.
Experiencing bean-shaped ego death at
Mhm.
2 a.m. on a Sunday.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Let's see. Actually, Springy saying his story because I'm like filtering through like everything, and I'm like, well, some of it's accident, some of it's my fault. Like ordering the wrong color skirt or getting lipstick in your wig. It's kind of like, okay, those are easy fixes. But something that did happen that was a little bit scary at the time was I was doing double trouble, and I of course had the green body paint on. And I was taking a break for a little bit before I was going to do a live stream. I was going to get some food. I'm at home and everything, and I hear a yell outside. Long story short, one of my neighbors fell down, and she couldn't get back up and everything. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? So without thinking, I ran outside, forgetting I'm still in a wig cap, green body paint, black bodysuit, and I'm just like, let me help you. And she's looking at me like, what, and stuff like that. So we eventually helped her. I went and got like other neighbors, and we like helped her up and everything, and she was fine afterwards. But like it was just I didn't think, didn't anything, and then once I got out there, I'm like I probably look like a witch or something. Because that's what one of the neighbors asked. They're like, "Are you Wicked? Like the Wicked Witch?" I'm like, "No, Double Trouble from She-Ra." They're like, "Oh, it's a good show," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." So yeah, that's a little bit scary. It's fine now because everybody's okay, but I'm just like, oh gosh, the one time.
I'm glad your neighbor's okay.
Me too.
My answer is both comedic and like horrifying in the moment. So I'm getting ready for the convention that I was going, and I had the costume on, but I was still like makeup half finished, so this all looks like that really pale, empty stage, and a tan wig cap. So there's like nothing happening up here. So I'd like eyeliner. There's a knock at the door. I hear, "Hey, Lemon," obviously real name. "It's your landlord. Do you have the rent check?"
Oh.
And I just like, oh my god. And the 4 other people in my apartment are in various states of undress. And the closest person to a completely dressed person, I'm like, oh dear god. Like, yeah, landlord, give me 1 second. I'll be right up the stair, because there's a staircase and then door.
Mhm.
So when he gets ushered into the opposite room, I grab my checkbook and walk up. I'm like, "Hi, landlord." And he's like, "Hi. Getting ready for something?" "Oh yeah, going to a Christmas event. I have an elf wig and everything. I just haven't put it on yet." Whatever. And he was like, "Okay, this man is in his 60s. He ran for judge, courthouse judge, in 2018.
Wow.
God have mercy. I thought he was going to kick me out then and there." Or like, "You gotta be out in 30 days now, ma'am. I can't do this." Because we were in Chicago. I was just like, "Thanks so much, landlord. Have a nice day. Like, enjoy what you're doing."
Mhm.
I went upstairs to get other tenants' check, and I closed the door, and I was just like, "He's gone."
Coast is clear.
Oh goodness.
Oh gosh. I bet your little heart was
Certainly,
racing during that whole thing. Like, oh gosh.
the asthma just turned on to 11.
Oh god.
But ooh, goodness.
Mm.
Though he did complain about every time that I opened the door to him that I was
Mhm.
a leopard jumpsuit usually,
Mhm.
because that was like my baby pajamas kind of deal, and I
Mhm.
worked overnight, so he'd always make jokes. It's like, at least I'm not in the leopard outfit. I could be in the leopard outfit. You want that?
Oh.
Yeah, that was Christmas Blake Belladonna's uh, first and most recent appearance in the world. And it started with that.
Aww.
It looked great in the end. It was just really funny.
Okay. This is another good question. Did you have other questions or?
Frankie, do you have anything?
Well, it's more of a quiz question for you two.
Ooh.
Who was the original killer in Friday the 13th?
Feel put on the spot.
I don't remember. Who's coming up?
What year was the original Friday the 13th filmed in? I have like
Oh,
them.
gotta go. 1979. I don't know. Look, I'm not the official Ghostface. Okay, I'm just some weird nerd in my room right now. Okay, I don't know when that movie came out. I just know the answer to this quiz question. So ironically, it was in Scream.
Stupid. Blank Voorhees. Can the last name count? For some reason, only thing I'm thinking.
Before I answer that, Jen, do you have a thought on?
I don't remember.
No, Jason Voorhees. His last name came before his first name.
Jason, Voorhees, Jason.
Yes, I think that's the right one.
That's wrong. It was Pamela Voorhees' mother, who was the first killer in the first Friday the 13th movie. And then all the rest of them were Jason. It's a trick question.
It was a trick question.
Enough.
No tricks
and that
for
is
you.
how the first person in Scream died. Because they didn't know that answer.
Oh,
hey, that's all I got.
That was a fun question.
That was
fun. No more horror trivia for us?
I'll watch more Scream movies. Sooner to me doing this, and I'll write them down for you next time.
There you go. It'd be fun. A little movie trivia night or something. It'd be fun to do.
Just me dressed up as Ghostface doing horror trivia.
I'd do it. Let's see. So, yep, you got that. So I think that's going to conclude Cosplay Tea Time episode for today. So I just want to say thank you again, Lemon and Springy, for joining. Appreciate it. Loved all the fun stories and even the little trick with the horror trivia and all that stuff. So, but just want to say too, if you're a cosplayer out there and want to join Cosplay Tea Time, make sure to message us. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and hope everyone's taking care, staying safe, and keep stepping away. Bye everyone!